We're in big trouble. Nothing's okay, and nothing is going to be okay.
Rock Township, that's in Henry County. Crews have been working for days after Huston Creek turned a bright red color.
Officials are saying that it's contamination from some unknown substance. And tonight, neighbors who live nearby want some answers.
Whiskey.
These viewer images that we just obtained, these were taken yesterday by Mason Redley while out on a pontoon boat in that area. These images appear to show several dead fish in the water. Napoleon's Fire and Rescue Department responded to Meyerholtz Park, where they confirmed a large number of dead fish were in that area. Crews launched an airboat to see the scale of that issue. The investigation says the span of the dead fish goes from the mouth of the Huston Creek to the area of Campbell's Soup. Currently, there are no concerns over the water being distributed to Napoleon residents, though. The city says they are currently pulling from the raw water line.
How's it going? We got some stuff to talk about today, right? Pretty serious stuff. Usually I start out and say, how's it going? Hope you're doing all right. But the truth is, I already know you're not doing all right. None of us are doing all right, whether we know it or not. And, you know, you might think you're doing fine right now. Others, I might see you from the outside, as others would, and think everything's all right for you. But when it comes down to it, it's not all right for any of us. Nothing's okay. And, you know, there's people that try to remain positive, and I get it. This ain't telling anyone to panic. But warning, we are not okay, and we're in big trouble. All of us, whether we know it or not. And, you know, maybe I focus a lot on the doom and gloom, but open your eyes. We got to face the facts. Time's up for all of us. And if you want to finish the game as a winner, you want to win the game, you got to understand what's going on and understand that there's no cheat code, ain't no easy way, there's only one way, right? Sometimes it's hot as heck right now, right? Hot and muggy out, and sometimes that adds to the attitude in which all this stuff comes off of me. Whiskey and I were taking our walk today, and we come over here by the pool, city pool, before it's not opened yet, so it's about to here shortly, I suppose, but it's early enough, nobody's there yet, but they're getting it prepared for the day, right? That brings back memories, the smells that come from your city pool before, in the morning, before it's it's all just prepared to be used. All that clean water, and just, when I grew up, I did a lot of swimming. I was at the pool a lot, and back then, I guess we all took it all for granted, right? Even now, people are taking that for granted, the water. Like I said, we go over here to the city pool before it opens up. Looks like all good, fresh, clear water. It's treated and all that, but we're like, right there's the pool, right? And then just right over here is the river. And we need to have a talk about this river. And I don't care if you're from this area or not, you need to consider what I'm saying. And so, please follow along. I'm trying to fix things up where I'm not jumping into other subjects, try to stay on topic, and I assure you we need to pay attention to a few things here from this video, and I'm going to share a news clip, 1 or 2 news clips to go along with it. But if you're just joining us on this channel, we appreciate it very much. I'm Lawrence, that's Whiskey. If you've gotten over here from our music, we do appreciate that. So, if you're just tuning in, consider subscribing. Don't forget to like, share, all that good stuff. And otherwise, let's try to stay on subject today. But we look, Whiskey and I come out, hang out over here, and we see, boats go along the river, not as many as it used to be. We hear the motorcycles over on all the way across the river over there, because they all follow that road as a route to ride on, go out to the dam, stuff like that, right? Which leads to the same river. Right here where I'm at is the Auglaize and Maumee Rivers come together, right here in Defiance. And then the pool is right, we're at the park where the pool is. And, like I said, the pools make me, remind me of growing up, right? Because I was always hanging out at the pool, swimming, all that. But even then, I didn't want to swim in the river. And I grew up in Napoleon, Henry County, and even then I didn't like swimming in the river. It was looking kind of dirty, right? But I'll say this from time to time, even in some videos, and sometimes people will comment, oh, that's just the dirt, the sludge is making the river look like that. Look, this river is disgusting. And what I'm saying is, I don't like being on it with a boat, right? And I don't want my dog getting close enough to it. And I certainly won't swim in it, right? But I'm saying, way back when I was a kid, people don't realize this, I'll say once upon a time you could see through that water. It wasn't so disgusting and dirty. And you could see through that water. And people hear that, and I can tell sometimes when you tell people this, right? They think you're talking about a long time ago that, none of us remember. Well, I do, right? And anyone my age Generation X, right, should remember there was a time, if you hung out enough by the river, you know, Dad used to take us over here, right here where we're at, fishing, right? You used to be able to see through that water, right? I'm not saying it was crystal clear or all this and that, but you could see to, if you're, you know, by the edge, you could see to the bottom, which ain't that far on the edge, right? So, I mean, you can't go out in the middle and see all the way down to the bottom, but you could see it had good visibility. You could look out there and sometimes see the fish in there, right? You're not about to do that now. And this is important. It really is important. Okay. Let's see what's going on right there where I grew up in Henry County. Check this out, news clip.
Township, that's in Henry County. Crews have been working for days after Huston Creek turned a bright red color.
Officials are saying that it's contamination from some unknown substance. And tonight, neighbors who live nearby want some answers. 13 Action News reporter Matt Merchant has that story, new at 5.
Here on Henry County K Road, just beyond this road closed sign here, officials are saying that the creek has been contaminated by an unknown substance.
For days, residents in Flat Rock Township have been dealing with a creek contamination that's turned the water into a red-like color. Since July 3rd, crews have been out at the Houston Creek trying to mitigate the issue, shutting down roadways and bringing in equipment to monitor the situation. While residents say they are glad to see crews out, they believe they should have been notified sooner.
We had no notice. The first thing we knew on July 4th, some visitors were coming over, and they said, "Why is your road closed?"
We had no idea.
We had no idea.
That's Wes and Debbie Mutter, who have lived in the township for roughly 3 decades. Their house is near the contaminated creek, which for them has since raised several concerns.
I worry whether that's going to affect my respiratory issues.
We have a dog who gets in that creek quite often, so we're trying to keep her inside. And, you know, I know people fish in there once in a while, so it's very concerning.
On July 6th, Henry County Emergency Management released a statement saying as of the 3rd of this month, they were made aware of the contamination. They determined what they call an unknown product in the waterway. Ohio EPA, ODNR, and the county engineer and emergency management team responded, stating that the contamination has not impacted the Maumee River and there are no safety impacts at this time. Emergency management also stated the roads near the contamination will be closed for some time, with no reopening date announced. As for what exactly contaminated the waterway, residents are still looking for those answers.
If there's contamination in our area, we should be notified.
We would like some transparency. Yeah.
Okay, now this was from a week or so ago, a little over a week ago, maybe 2 weeks now, right, when it was first reported. Some kind of chemical or something going on in this creek, right? And they tried to hush us and act like nobody knew what was going on. Finally, they found out ammonia and whatever, right? Fertilizer stuff is what it comes down to. Is therefore you shouldn't be eating these crops that are fertilized with it, right? So they ended up damming off this creek, because let's consider what's coming out of Napoleon now. And if I got the news clip, I'll show it. Otherwise, I'll give you a summary of what's going on. You can look it up yourself if you have any trouble believing any of this.
As we come on the air, we begin with breaking new developments on a story we've been following since last weekend. That's when a spill of liquid fertilizer contaminated Houston Creek in Henry County. We're now learning that spill has resulted in a large number of dead fish discovered in the Maumee River yesterday afternoon. Take a look at these viewer images that we just obtained. These were taken yesterday by Mason Redley while out on a pontoon boat in that area. These images appear to show several dead fish in the water. Napoleon's Fire and Rescue Department responded to Meyerholtz Park, where they confirmed a large number of dead fish were in that area. Crews launched an airboat to see the scale of that issue. The department says they were told one of the dams installed in Houston Creek had failed overnight due to rain. Ohio EPA and county officials were working to mitigate that issue. The investigation says the span of the dead fish goes from the mouth of the Houston Creek to the area of Campbell's Soup, that factory there. They say the number of dead fish is expected to increase as fish flows downriver. Currently, there are no concerns over the water being distributed to Napoleon residents, though. The city says they are currently pulling from the raw water line that runs between Napoleon and the Wauseon Reservoir. They'll continue these measures until further notice. Yesterday afternoon, ammonia and nitrate levels were tested in that river. They were below the threshold for concern. Now, as we've reported, the Ohio EPA has already issued 2 violations for the spill into Houston Creek. The spill was first discovered Saturday, and cleanup operations have continued since Sunday afternoon. Now, this is the first indication that the Maumee River has been impacted by that contamination. We're told the Ohio Department of Natural Resources is working to gather a kill count for the fish involved in this case.
And this hits me. Me and some of my friends used to go every day down here, almost every day fishing at the river over in Napoleon. Dad used to bring us here to Defiance, different spots, and all this area where we're sitting at. And we would fish. Dad always liked fishing. Certain friends of mine liked fishing, and they lived over not too far from the river, so we'd walk down and fish quite often. And I had no problems then, and now I won't fish in this river because I don't want to touch the fish. I don't want to touch the water. I don't want to drink the city water, right? When I absolutely have to, have no other choice. Being in my situation, sometimes you got to, right? And even the animals don't want to drink the city water, right? Our earth is polluted. And who's responsible? Now, so over here in Napoleon now, suddenly dead fish. Some people noticed over here by whatever park. I'll show little locations or whatever. Some people noticed dead fish, right? Now we have in the Maumee River dead fish. Oh, but all the officials are coming out saying nothing to worry about, nothing to see here. Fear not, right? Now all the truth is starting to come out, and they're trying to keep it still as hush as possible. But turns out all this creek that was polluted, that they were acting like is just fine. Now, when all this happened, they still assured the people that there's no immediate health risk to the people, right? To anybody surrounded by that creek, whatever, right? But anyone surrounded by it, right? Anyone in that area, oh, there's nothing to worry about. Okay, who knows how much in the ground is even, right? They sure nothing to worry about. Now, suddenly today, we wake up, yesterday I suppose, they woke up finding dead fish in the Maumee River. Oh, comes to find out that now they say a downpour happened. It rained and a downpour happened and kind of broke through the dam that they built to seal off this creek, right? They sealed it off so it wouldn't, dammed it off, and a downpour. Now, maybe Napoleon's got that much different, but I assure you, they're making it sound like, oh, some uncontrollable. It did not rain that much, right? So what they did was a flimsy job. They didn't care, right? And this is what we've been told all our lives. A little bit of chemicals here and there, it's okay. No, eventually, like you got a lot of chemicals that say it can never, ever be diluted enough, right? So it turns out that this spill that they wanted to act like everything's just fine is now made its way into the river. The Maumee River is a very important river, and it dumps right into Lake Erie, one of the most important, biggest freshwater reserves we have in the world, right? And now there's dead fish showing up. And now our officials come out and say, don't worry about it. You're still safe to drink your city water. You're still safe to take your activities on the water and partake in your water activities and all this, don't worry, you can still fish. There's nothing to worry about, even though dead fish are showing up, right? Water is important to life, all of us. Without it, we're doomed, right? Just like bees, without them, we're doomed. Without God's wonderful creation, we're doomed, right? We all need each other. The world, we are not going to survive by taking this stuff out and not giving a shit about it. The very animals that live off the water, live in the water, right? Everything that lives in the water is dying, and they're telling you that you have to live off of that water, but you're safe, right? Do we not understand how disgusting and how horribly wrong this is? But let's understand something else. How did that creek get poisoned to begin with? Oh, they'll blow it off as a little accident from some corporation, from some facility, right? Oh, it's an accident. They'll get a fine, and I'm sure it's connected to Campbell Soup is what's going on here, right? They'll get a fine, and that's that. And meanwhile, you're being told it's safe. The very public officials that have to also live off of that water are dumb enough to be told what to do, and they're going to sit there and be dumb and say it's fine, right? Your sheriffs, who are supposed to be in charge of protecting and serving, should be going and making arrests, but they're not. We'll handle this in court. They'll get fined and a slap on the wrist. And your water is poisoned. This is an important issue. And the thing is, it makes me, and I'm sure others, I've seen some comments out there, want to just get up and get out of here, right? Because Defiance is much the same. We've had years and years and years of General Motors polluting the river, the Maumee River, dumping their pollution right into it, building a landfill of poisoned stuff right next to it, a mountain of it, right? That gets flushed right down into that river. Who cares, right? For all these years, who cares? They make, a lot of people make good money working there. We got to, it never made sense to me that one car making facility has factories all over the country, now all over the world, instead of just finding one spot to do the whole operation, right? No, because there's a lot involved in it. We say they're trying to move people into smart cities and all this and that. This plan has been going on for years, for generations, right? The reason all these places be corporations, these moves happened a long time ago. That's how a lot of your cities and certain areas got polluted with bad people to begin with, right? All these big corporations moving people around within their company to other places instead of doing one whole operation in one place, right? General Motors has polluted our rivers for years. Now Defiance is being told they got 2 more things that are going to finish this river off. Coming soon, a data center and the toilet paper making factory that's going to make generic, I made a video on it once, right? They're going to make generic paper towels and toilet paper, right? And they're acting like, oh, this is new good job opportunities for Defiance. Yeah, here, make $13 an hour, polluting the earth, right? And the thing is, Ohio, make you think Ohio's getting new jobs. Really, they shut it down somewhere else after they polluted that place, and now they're opening up over here. And why? To get all the people to move to these smart cities. Defiance, that's what it is. We're going to choke out the people in Napoleon, and they're going to have to move over this way. So, as I said, the truth is, you're not doing all right. Because I'm pointing out this because those of us who grew up around this area call this place home. It used to be like all these odd and weird things happen. They don't happen around here, right? But now these things are happening everywhere. This kind of, I'm giving you an example, right? Chemical spills, everything burning down, right? Diseases with the animals, they're happening everywhere. And you're finding all the rivers being polluted all across this nation, right? You're hearing about these same incidences happening in even in other countries, right? And we want to keep brushing these things off as accidents. Well, you know, meanwhile, all your authorities are beating you down for tax money, making you pay for this disgusting system. The corporations own and control everything, including you. Killing you off, attacking life sources, right? The water, the air, all these things. And their chemicals, corporations come along with their chemicals, and their chemicals, you know, no matter which way you look at it, even the corporations get away with it. The big money gets away with it, right? Pharma and chemical industry gets away with it constantly, and they are costing lives. They are killing people off, right? People are dying over this stuff. Meanwhile, their protectors, the thugs from the Blue Line Gang, are running around harassing you about going 5 miles an hour over the speed limit. And when they pull you over, that could turn into a life-taking event, right? And they will throw you in jail, sometimes for nothing more than that, right? Because they didn't like your attitude. And whatever crime you're guilty of, they will punish you to the full extent of the law. Just as they will punish you to the full extent of the law for crimes you're not guilty of. Ask me how I know, right? They will turn out and ruin your life while looking the other way. You know, I'm talking about your public servants who you pay for this stuff to protect your rights to clean water, right? Your rights to live. They harass you and hound you and beat us down every damn day, sometimes taking our lives, putting us in line. We'll listen to them, we'll obey them. Meanwhile, the people who are truly breaking the law is themselves and the corporations that pay them off. And they're ruining everything. And we can't keep saying it's by accident. When are the people going to stand together? Okay, Henry County, you're being lied to, right? Oh, just drink the water, it's fine. Go ahead and swim in the water, it's fine. Go ahead and get on your jet skis in that water, it's fine. Even though the very things that depend on it to live are dying. It's trace amounts. Don't worry, you'll get cancer in 5 years from it, but don't worry about it today, right? And who's responsible? Oh, don't worry, we fined them. We gave them a fine because somehow they accidentally dumped their chemicals into a creek. It's not accident. It's because they're allowed so much to go in there, and they slowly over time been polluting all that. And now it turned into a thing people started noticing. Oh, the water's turning color out of that creek and all this weird stuff, right? Who knows how long it's really been going on? It just got noticed. Nobody said a word until it got noticed. And then they tried to hush, and then suddenly dead fish are appearing, right? And you see that from time to time along this river, okay? Had this not happened so close to this report of what was going on with that creek, they would have got away with it. No, I mean, they're getting away with it anyways, right? Slap on the wrist with a fine. What would happen to you if you took just a gallon of antifreeze and they caught you dumping it, right? Oil, whatever. Not that you should. You certainly should not. But they caught you doing that. You'd pay a heftier price than this huge corporation that just polluted big time. I take issue with it on several reasons. I take issue with it happening anywhere. And you're hearing about this stuff almost daily all across this country, right? On top of all the rest of the crap they're pulling on us, bringing us right into a war that's going to go nuclear. But I also take issue with it because that's my home area. That's where I grew up, right? They're ruining our very water, making this place uninhabitable. Let's know your thoughts in the comments. Or just say hello to whiskey. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. We appreciate it very much. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep all of his commandments, for that is the whole duty of man. For God will bring every work into judgment with every single thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil.